You can accept the fact that the city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportions. Biblical, what it means is Old Testament warfare, real wrath of God type stuff. Fire, race on, rivers, seas, oil, human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. That's terrible. No, listen, I know it's 10 minutes late. Well, say 10 minutes late. Hell, I've been here since what? Since about 9:15. So don't tell me about me being late just because I'm not here on the camera. But I'm here on the camera now at Sam Newsman is where you're going to find me. At Sam Newsman, we're broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. I actually have a hard camera over here recording us. Why? Because we can't even record and film on Instagram. That's what's ridiculous about the whole thing. Here I am just trying to do what I normally do on Saturday morning, doing what I was born to do. I was born to host a radio show here on Saturday morning, and you were born to be a part of it. How? At Sam Newsman. I'll tell you that's how. At Sam Newsman is where you're going to find me all over social media. I have a interaction at the same time. Shout out, of course, to Cato's Collection. The reason why this is the 10 o'clock toy hour. You're familiar with the 10 o'clock toy hour, right? The 10 o'clock toy hour is the time where we pontificate on toys, action figures, and all that is amazing in the world. Toy. But far be it from me to start off the show without giving a shout out to Cato's Collection. Are you following Cato's Collection? You should be. Yeah, you should be. You should be following Cato's Collection. Why? Because there's a lot of people out there that are doing toy action figure reviews. And when they do action figure and toy reviews, you know what happens is that they get a production model or they get something and get on their knees and, smile like a donut or grab the soap and sit there and then say, oh, well, I love this company. Blah, blah. No, nobody wants to hear that. They want to hear actual information. They want to hear actual information that cuts through the noise. And where are you going to get that? You're going to get that at Cato's Collection. That's Cato with a K, Cato's Collection with a K. Cato's Collection with a K, the only place that you're going to be able to get your action figure toy reviews from someone with not only a Southern drawl, they'll just make you love the toys. They'll make it, you know what? He'll just sit there and tell you, you know what? This is why you should get this Transformer. Even though I know in the back of my mind, that GoBots are better. But I'm just going to sit there and tell you that you just got to get this Transformer. Yeah, you got to get this Transformer. Got to get this Transformer, even though GoBots are better. But don't let me tell you about the whole fact. Now I just went Kentucky all of it. No, listen. Anyways, God bless Cato. Cato's Collection, Kato collection with a K. Cato's Collection. Find them on YouTube. You'll be able to hear and figure out if you want to purchase a toy or not. Yeah, I know. Listen, he's bought and paid for by the Autobots. No, he is. I mean, listen, he'll probably tell you that he is too. Listen, I know. It's the whole Autobots thing. Because we all know that the Decepticons are the real good guys. I mean, right? I mean, we've had people over from Russia call in and tell us specifically that the bad guys are actually the good guys. It's the American propaganda machine. The American propaganda machine that makes you think that Optimus Prime is the good guy. That makes you think that Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael are the good guys. No, actually, Shredder's the good guy. He is. Yeah. Darth Vader is misunderstood. Just like Lord Blanket. What? What do you mean? No, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into the Lord Blanket stuff. No, listen, it's not even, not even May yet. I don't want to get into the Lord Blanket snaffoolery. But shout out, of course, to Terry Davis, Ash Bailey, a couple of people over here. Like I said, we're broadcasting live Facebook, YouTube, and X. I do have a hard cam over here to just film us just for, Listen, we have to sit there. We have to sit there and have a steady cam here over here just filming the show. Why? Because the gatekeepers of social media continue to just shut us down. And you say, well, Sam, what does that mean? Well, we can't live stream on Instagram. We can't live stream. Well, I can live stream on TikTok. But you know what happens when I live stream on TikTok? Everybody sits there and says, oh, well, Sam, you're just doing misinformation. Listen, there are booty shaking people. Wait, what? Yeah, exactly. There are booty shaking trans on TikTok. And then all of a sudden, here I am, a media puppet, just trying to read the news. All I do is just read news articles. I read news articles. And then all of a sudden, I get the slap down. I don't get it. Ah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I know. Listen, I'm telling you what. Listen, the struggle is real. The struggle is real. Miss Booty information? Miss Booty information. That's exactly right. Booty disinformation. Booty all up in your faceism. Listen, that's what it's about. Listen, somebody can sit there and twerk. They can sit there and twerk and they don't get banned from TikTok. And here I'm just trying to twerk. I'm just trying to twerk out some, can I use that? Just trying to twerk out some, I can twerk, you know. Yeah, let me twerk. I'll twerk out some news articles. Good grief. Ridiculous. Yeah, it's an election year. No kidding. But it was a boring news week. It was a boring news week. It was so boring. And people sit there and say, well, Sam, what are you going to talk about this week? I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I got the newspaper. Did we have the newspaper? Where is it? Well, these are just the sports section, the style. What is it over here? Oh, yeah. So this is the, yeah, get that out of here. All right. So that is the Washington Post. I did grab the Washington Post. We'll talk about an article in the Washington Post at the 11 o'clock hour. Here in about, about 15 minutes, we're going to have Deep Cut Dave coming on and talking to us. I don't want to sit there and tell you. I don't want, because me and Deep Cut Dave, we have something we're going to talk about over the next 3 weeks. But I don't want to tell you what it is unless you were listening to the show last week. We probably talked about it last week. But if you're not listening to the show, we're going to have it. Ash Bailey. See, Ash Bailey gets it. He understands what the big story was. Are you guys following us? I know. Listen, I know I'm all over the place. Well, the reason why I'm all over the place because Ash Bailey just got the nail on the head of what was the big story this week. Shout out to Big M, a couple of other people here as we're doing things. All right. So did you know that we were on the radio only for the first hour of the show? Do you know that? So there are radio only segments. In fact, the next segment with Deep Cut Dave, Professor Deep Cut Dave, that's a radio only segment. The only way you're going to see that and hear that is on the radio. How do you hear that? WDCE.org. WDCE.org. Download the Live 365 app, search WDCE. You'll be able to hear that there as well. But there are radio-only segments to the show. So you have to follow along and pay attention to directions. Is it hard to pay attention to directions? Is it? Is it hard? I have to ask you this. It's a real simple question. Is it hard for you to pay attention to direction? It might be. There's a lot of people out there that might sit there and say, oh, well, yeah. Terry Davis, the station. So like people say, yeah, that's a real radio microphone over there. Terry Davis just asked us over in the chat. Oh, yeah, radio only. Got to get your station. WDCE 90.1 FM. WDCE 90.1 FM is the radio station. So just think if you were living here in Richmond, Virginia, driving around your car, maybe taking your kid to soccer practice or some sporting practice or a sporting game, or you just turn on the radio. And then all of a sudden you turn it to 90.1 FM. What would you hear? You would hear my beautiful puppet voice. And you'd be saying, oh my gosh, Sam, oh my gosh, is this really a real voice from a real puppet? And I would say, yes, it is. You're daggone right it is. It's a real puppet voice from a real media puppet. But then you would sit there and say, Sam, all I can do is hear you. And I would say, you know what? That is a good point. It is a good point. All you can do is hear me. So you might want to sit there and say, well, Sam, how can I see her? Well, guess what? We have the Sam Cams live up and running. The Sam Cam live over here, we have Facebook, YouTube, and X. And over here, we have just a hard cam. Why? Because we're banned on Instagram and TikTok. Every time we stream on TikTok, they sit there and say that we're just saying misinformation. I'm just reading the headlines. Come on, TikTok. Good grief. Can't live stream on Instagram. Can't really live stream on TikTok because then all of a sudden you get flagged. What the heck is a media puppet supposed to do? Well, you know what he's supposed to do? He's supposed to continue to set the standard and raise the bar. That's what he's supposed to do. And what do we do that? We do that every single Saturday morning. That's right. It's about 10:30 right now. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't even talk about toys yet. I got about a couple more minutes. Like I said, Dave is going to join us in about 10:40-ish. We're going to talk about some things. But first, can I just tell you that about a year or so ago, a little over a year ago, it's been well over a year, right? Well over a year. In fact, one of the best toys of 2023 was the Fury toys. It was called Fury toys at that time. The Fury toys was it Spring Samurai. The Spring Samurai figure from Fury Toys. Now, of course, here we are a couple months later. Fury Toys has changed. And I guess now they're Rage Toys. Rage Toys. So we have Rage Toys. Well, Rage Toys, last year they came out with Spring. This year they came out with Autumn. And they came out with Master. Now, of course, let me go ahead and just peel back the curtain a little bit. So what this is that so Spring was Leonardo. It was Leonardo as a turtle. This is a third-party company. This is Fury Toys. Fury Toys, third-party company. They release a Leonardo-esque figure, a samurai turtle figure, and it has, of course, some additional heads and some hands and stuff and all that jazz. And so it's a third-party turtle figure. They call it Spring. Comes out last year, but then this year, I guess they've changed. The company's name is now changed. It's now Rage Toys. Rage Toys now has it has a figure. It is a figure called Autumn, supposed to be Donatello, and Master, which is supposed to be Splinter. There's also a little custom kit that goes with it all. But you know what? That Spring figure that came out last year, it cost about $45 or so when it came out. You know what it's going for now, right? Should talk to Flipper Frank about this. I do know Flipper Frank personally. Should probably talk to Flipper Frank about this because why? Because here we have that Spring figure is now about $200. What were you doing? I'm talking to the producer right now. I'm trying to ask the producer, why didn't he buy two of them so he could flip one of them? Well, there's no excuses right now. You should have bought two of them because then we could have flipped one and gotten $200. Obviously, the reason why this is because these are the best Ninja Turtle action figures. Now, they're not licensed, remember. Now, they're not licensed by Nickelodeon. They're not licensed by Playmates or anybody else. These are non-licensed Ninja Turtle figures. So there's not the logo, there's anything. Like I said, there was Spring, there was Autumn, and there's Master. But I'm going to tell you right now, they're the best turtle figures that have ever come out. That's not a hot take. And you know what? I have been getting Mezco figures over the last couple of months. Listen, I got a Dr. Doom Mezco figure, probably one of the top 5 figures of 2024. So don't even get me started on the fact, because everybody's sitting there talking about these Mezco turtles. Can I just tell you something for a few moments? Is that these Mezco turtles look like someone who is trying to imitate Eastman and Laird, and they were almost there. They were almost there, but it's not there. So I'm looking at them, and I'm sure they're great. I'm sure they articulate well. They got a bunch of accessories. But can I tell you right now that they are not the best turtle figures that have ever been made? Maybe they might be the best licensed figure turtles that have ever been made. Sure, yeah, because there's a Nickelodeon logo and all that other stuff. But the Fury/Rage Toys/ Samurai turtles that have come out, they're the best Ninja Turtle figures that have ever come out since the original squishy head ones in 1988. I'm going to say that again. The Fury Toys / Rage Toys Samurai Turtle figures, they are the best Ninja Turtle figures since the original Playmates figures in 1988. And if you want to sit there and fuss at me, go ahead. You can send me hate mail right now. The fact, you know what I want you to do? I want you to go to Google, download, go to Google and type in Butthurt Report. If you type in Butthurt Report, you'll see a little form there. And the little form talks about how you're whiny and you're crying and your feelings were hurt because all of a sudden Sam just has to sit there and give you the reality. And the reality is that you paid $400 for Mezco turtle figures, and they are not the best turtle figures that have ever been made. They might be the best licensed ones. I'm not going to sit there and tell you. You can sit there and argue with that with the other turtle simps yourself. But what I'm telling you right now is that those turtle figures from Fury / Rage Toys are the best turtle figures that have come out since those original Playmates figures. That's not a hot take. That is just me spitting the facts. So if you want to sit there and you want to get there and something blah 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 blah, you can sit there and whine and fuss all you want. You know what? You know what I need to do is that I need to take a break, because if I keep talking about this turtle stuff, I'm going to get upset. I'm just going to keep on ranting. We're going to miss Professor Deep Cut Dave. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit there and fire up the. Hold on. Do we have it ready yet? Do we have it? All right. You guys got it? All right. Hold on 1 second. We're trying to get the playlist all set up. All right. So we have the playlist set up. The playlist is all set up. Yes, that's exactly right. So we got some jams that we're going to be playing here. Hold on. Wait. Do we have it? Wait. Nope. That's not it. There we go. Aha, there we go. So we have it all set up now. We're going to play some cartoon jams, some things over here, and we're going to be back right on the other side of this. And we'll, like I said, we'll chat. We'll chat to Professor Deep Cut Dave, and we'll all have a good time. We'll all have a great time. Like I said, it'll just be a few moments here on the other side of this break. Here and what is that? Okay, make sure you're following me at Sam Newsman on social media. At Sam Newsman all over social media is where you're going to find me. At Sam Newsman. Make sure you download the Live 365 apps. Download the Live 365 app. Search WDCE, and you'll be able to hear the radio-only segment here on the other side of this break with Professor Deep Cut Dave and the songs that lead in to Professor Deep Cut Dave's segment. Here on the only radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real award-winning media puppet from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. Yeah.
Nick, Nickelodeon. Nick, Nickelodeon.